All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're tackling an absolute giant, Benjamin Graham's The Intelligent Investor. This is the book that practically built the careers of some of the world's greatest financial minds. But let's be real, it can be a tough read. So in this explainer, we're going to boil it all down to its core. 3 simple, powerful pillars that you can actually use.
And hey, if you're wondering why this book is such a big deal, don't just take it from me. Warren Buffett, the Warren Buffett, calls it, and I quote, by far the best book on investing ever written. That's not just a nice compliment. That's like the ultimate stamp of approval, telling you that the truths in this book are absolutely rock solid. But, there's a catch. The book is dense. It was written a long time ago, and honestly, a lot of people who pick it up never quite make it to the end. That's exactly why we're here. We've done the heavy lifting for you, panned for the gold, and we've distilled the whole philosophy into 3 core pillars. So our first pillar is probably the most important one of all, the investor's mindset. See, before you even think about looking at a stock chart or a company's balance sheet, Graham says you have to get your own head on straight. This is the foundation. Everything else is built on this.
Graham kicks things off by drawing a really sharp line in the sand. On one side, you have investing. He says this is like being a business owner. You do your homework, you analyze the company's real value, and you're in it for the long haul to build wealth safely. And then there's speculating. This is what most people think investing is. You're chasing hot tips, trying to get rich quick, timing the market. Graham is super clear on this. Speculating is just gambling with a fancier name.
So what's the biggest danger to your money? Is it a recession, a market crash? Nope. According to Graham, your greatest enemy is looking right back at you in the mirror. It's your own emotions. It's the fear that makes you panic and sell at the worst possible time. It's the greed that makes you pile in at the top of a bubble. And it's that constant little voice in your head telling you that you can predict what the market will do next, which is a total fool's errand.
And that leads to this huge shift in how you should even think about risk. On Wall Street, they'll tell you risk is volatility, how much a stock bounces around day to day. Graham says, no, that's not it at all. For him, real risk is way simpler. It's the chance that you will permanently lose your money. A good company stock dropping for a few months isn't the real risk. Buying a terrible company that eventually goes to zero is. The goal of an intelligent investor isn't to chase crazy returns. It's to make sure you don't lose your money in the first place.
Okay, so you've got the mindset on lockdown. Great, but how do you actually put that into practice? Well, that brings us right to pillar number 2, your bulletproof strategy. Think of this as your defensive playbook that's designed to protect you from the market's madness and from yourself.
Graham's whole strategy is this beautiful 3-step defensive plan. Step 1, figure out a company's intrinsic value. That's what it's actually truly worth, completely separate from its fluctuating stock price. But then, and this is the absolute game changer, step 2, you demand a margin of safety. This means you only buy when the price is way, way below what you think it's worth. That gap, that discount, that's your cushion. That's what protects you if you're wrong. And finally, you diversify. Because guess what? Nobody's perfect. You will make mistakes. And diversification ensures that one bad bet can't blow up your whole portfolio.
So mindset, check. Strategy, check. How does this all play out in the messy, chaotic real world? Well, that leads us to our third and final pillar, and maybe my favorite part of the whole book, using Mr. Market. It's this brilliant little story Graham invented to help you deal with the sheer craziness of the stock market.
So who is this Mr. Market character? Just imagine you own a piece of a business, and you have this business partner, Mr. Market. The thing is, he's a total emotional wreck. He's moody, he's irrational, and every single day, without fail, he comes to you and he quotes you a price. He'll either offer to buy your share of the business or sell you his share. But here's the best part. You are always 100% free to just ignore him. Some days, Mr. Market shows up feeling euphoric. He's on top of the world, thinks the future is paved with gold, and he offers you a ridiculously high price for your shares. What do? Well, you can either sell to him and lock in a nice profit, or you can just say no thanks and ignore him. Then there are other days when he's completely depressed. He's convinced the world is ending and offers to sell you his shares for pennies on the dollar. And what do then? That's your moment. That's when you buy. The whole point is, Mr. Market is your servant, not your guide. His mood swings are your opportunity, not your marching orders. So we've got the mindset, we've got the strategy, and we've got Mr. Market. But what's the one thing, the single thread that ties all of this together? It's not some complicated math formula or secret stock tip. It's discipline. This is the intelligent investor's ultimate edge.
And right here, this is the big reveal of the entire book. You do not need to be a genius to do well in investing. You don't need fancy algorithms or some kind of inside track. In fact, Graham would say that being super smart can actually hurt you if you don't have emotional control. The real secret weapon is just discipline. The discipline to stick to your plan when everyone else is panicking, and the discipline to think for yourself.
And that leaves us with one final, very important question. It's not about whether you're smart enough to get rich. It's about whether you are patient enough. Because building real, lasting wealth isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a marathon. It's built over years and decades of calm, steady compounding. The biggest lesson from The Intelligent Investor is that your temperament and your timeline are your greatest assets. So the question you really need to ask yourself is this: do you have the patience to be wealthy?